Hey, what's up? What's up? Welcome back to the channel again. I actually this could be considered a part two of something that I just mentioned in terms of words of wisdom, right? Words of wisdom. Specifically again geared to the automobile owner or drivers of automobiles, especially if you're the person who's responsible for, the insurance of that vehicle. What am I saying? Here in the US and specifically in the state that I live in, when you go to get your license, um, there's some classes that they offer. They're like 5 hour driving classes, and then specifically though there's what's called a defensive driving class. Listen, in terms of this channel and offering words of wisdom, right? Like you would consider what you put into your body and what you eat and what you drink, try to get your exercise so that you have a healthy lifestyle. We offer what we consider words of wisdom. Some of these things are things that are a no-brainers to some people because they know them, but not everybody knows this. So again, even to the people who are like, oh, that's a no-brainer, I know that. I think it doesn't hurt to be reminded. And even if it's a no-brainer to you, it's still a value that you know these things, because you can maybe help a family member or a friend because they may not know. So what are we talking about specifically? I'm talking about the defensive driving class that's offered in a number of states. In my state, it's offered, um, because the defensive driving classes, to me, are very valuable because they provide information, statistics, things about alcohol levels in the bloodstream, statistics about accidents, types of accidents, how accidents affect people's lifestyle, insurance, those kind of things. And definitely it teaches some what literally what's called defensive driving techniques. And you may say, well, what's the big deal? I'm of the opinion, and that's why I'm saying I'm offering this as words of wisdom. I'm personally of the opinion that defensive driving really helps drivers to be better drivers. That's just my personal opinion. It has certainly helped me. And it not only helps in terms of quality of life for me personally, but I've found that it affects the people around me, because when I drive defensively, and defensively is not, trying to go beat up my next door driving companion, but it's driving in such a fashion that it creates really a safe environment for me, the vehicle that I'm using, the people in my vehicle, and the people around me. So not only does it contribute to quality of life, but even financially, and I don't know if people know this, and I can only speak for the state that I live in. You can certainly, research this piece of it, but it can help you in your pocketbook. Some people don't realize that by taking the defensive class, and many auto insurance companies, they will give you actually what's a significant discount on a portion of your auto insurance. I'm talking like a couple $100, what I'm saying? So not only do you get the benefit of the knowledge and the experience of being a better driver, but you're, if you will, rewarded by getting a pretty significant discount on your insurance. All right, so I wanted to throw that out there. You can look it up in your state or where you live if they offer defensive driving classes. Just really quickly, some insurance companies, you may have to renew it every couple of years. So basically what that looks like is, let's say in every 3 years, maybe you need to take the defensive driving class again, which is no big deal, because even as a potentially good driver, it's always good to be reminded of the good habits, because you know how it is. I'm not ashamed, to say, sometimes you kind of forget, when you're in a rush, sometimes when you're driving, you may forget some of these techniques and things like that. So it's good to be reminded. So they may require you to, in some frequency, whatever that is, 3 years, 2 years, 4 years, to take the class again, and then show proof that you've taken the class, because usually when you take the class, you get some form of a certificate or something like that that you then can present to the insurance companies. And again, if you've never heard of this, it can save you hundreds of dollars on your insurance policy, your auto insurance policy. Okay, so hopefully, I hope those words of wisdom are helpful to you. All right, peace out. Until next time.